The Chronicles of Wrathorn. I wonder if they will condemn me for my actions. Perhaps they will. Perhaps they will not. No way to tell what the future holds, but you can always guess. Given how I lived my life and what I did with that life, there can be many ends for one such as I, to be the emperor of a civilization of monsters, straight from the nightmares of many younglings of various species, is indeed a heavy burden. Of course, I had not always thought like this. Once I was a simple brute, a savage, if you will. Wandering brutes is what they call us. Be it precious stones or ancient technology, we fought for anything we could get our hands on. Being a truly forsaken species tends to bring out the worst in us, especially when there is no one to guide us, and we are left to rot, cast aside for being defective, for being mutants. Our species never truly had a name, initially, at least never a united term. Some of us believed we are many races, all collectively changed by an unknown ancient technology used by the ones that enslaved us. Many of us have little information of the past, nor the origin of the great doorway in the sky. It spews forth strange artifacts. Naturally, we as a species were divided. The physical differences and lack of resources took care of any hope at uniting. We split into various tribes. Of course, each tribe had their own way of doing things, but the general consensus was a rigid caste system. Since our species could reproduce asexually, we naturally could carve out our own dynasties. This is where the caste system became pervasive. Many of the tribes were lorded by such bloodlines, or tribal chieftains, that reproduced the next ruler and various offspring to forge their dynasty. The technological level and sophistication of each tribe varied. Some had swords and bows. Some had projectile weapons, whilst others had weapons that could fire deadly lightning bolts and lasers. This division in culture, desire for domination, and varied capabilities of destruction caused immense chaos. The tribes vied for dominance and fought each other to determine the true ruler of our planet, named Wrath. But of course, it was many years before we were united under one banner. My banner, and became known as the Wrathorn of the United Empire of Abominations. Those dark times are long distant memories now. The world is united. Our people are one. Naturally, the Empire could not be contained by a single planet. The various technologies we gained from the ancient doorway were of great use, and we used them well. We freed ourselves from the confines of our prison and took to the stars, where the vengeance I offered my people waits patiently for our rise. The galaxy was a new battleground, a new era of expansion of my great dynasty. But naturally many were skeptical of my reign, and opposed me with fervor and hate. It was in our blood to crave conflict. I suspect destruction and death was our initial purpose. I wonder what went through the minds of the ancients when they made us. Pride or horror. But none of that matters anymore. For I, Emperor Kaless Zparak, will dominate this galaxy, slay all who oppose me, and grant the bloodshed my people so desire. The beginning of our imperial growth was slow to begin with, researching many new technologies to develop our empire into an advanced era. We focused on military technology for a new fleet of ships ready to be mass-produced. Of course, weapons of death weren't my only concern. The biological issues of our species were a problem, and thus I placed resources in areas to assist in further population growth and medical technology. We began the great expansion into the Anubis Nebula. Science vessels began mapping the great expanse of my future empire. The rapid development was a must, as resources were required for rapid expansion of our military. We knew there were other intelligent life in the galaxy, and my people's xenophobic hatred of the foreign worlds and species was a flame not easily extinguished. It could only be fanned and guided to a useful end. The expansion of the empire came quickly. Many potential worlds to colonize came into view of my ever-advancing empire. New resources crafted and molded to weapons of war that may be put to purpose against our enemy. We advanced in all directions, bringing system after system to heel and made succumb to our empire. The expanse was glorious, with each system aiding to the might of the Abominable Empire. The advance, of course, came at a cost. The further we journeyed and spread our sphere of influence, the more likely we would meet other intelligent life. They called themselves the Scree Interstellar Commonwealth. Odd creatures. Many of my people called them vile Xeno scum that should be purged. Personally, I quite like the wretched creatures. Not because of their appearance or personality, but the fact that these insipid technocrats were democratic pacifists, despite the fact that all their past leaders had supported the advancement of science and its lordship over the masses. With these creatures now in sight of my empire, I wonder how I should deal with them. Should I take a page from their ledger? Let peace prevail? Or listen to my people and gut the filthy Xenos and make slaves of the remains? Decisions. The Chronicles of Wrathorn. To be continued. Thank you for listening.